First time they have met since James committed to the Lakers. They had texted leading up to that, but when asked about the meeting, Walton told Ramona Shelburne, quote, "He's about the team, he's about doing things the right way, he's about winning. I can work with those qualities." So, I mean, I just want to know what you would expect from a Luke Walton, LeBron James partnership.
Well, first of all, typically players, when they're going to play for a new coach, they will consult people that they trust, that they know, who've been with that coach. For LeBron, I imagine there had been a phone call with Draymond Green saying, what do you think of Luke? And we know that Draymond Green's probably best basketball ever came when Luke Walton was coaching him, because Luke is not a taskmaster. Luke is very laid back, very chill, and will allow you to do you, while at the same time, he has a bright basketball mind. I think that's something that we all talk about. Look, he's still cool, and he knows his stuff. And so if you're LeBron James, I think that's kind of got to be music to his ears, right? This is a guy who knows his stuff, but at the same time is comfortable enough ceding control and power to players, his stars, basically.
I don't really think this is a big deal, because I think they were always going to talk at some point. And LeBron knows that Luke's played in the league. He's talked to plenty of guys, I'm sure, who have been through that. LeBron signed off on going back to Cleveland with David Blatt. I mean, he'll find some way to make things work.
But we know how that turned out.
Well, exactly.
Because of Blatt's control issue.
Exactly. And the key here is that LeBron knows what it takes to win, and Luke, in his own way, knows what it takes to win. And I would think that both guys will find a middle ground, especially to start off.
Well, I don't think it's a shock that they had a meeting. I mean, I think everybody expected it. But what I do think is significant about it is only this, is that Steve Kerr made a big deal when he first was the Warriors coach to individually meet with players over the summer. I believe he flew overseas at one point to do that, with the idea of, hey, before we get in the training camp environment, before we're all together, let's you and me form the building blocks of our personal relationship, so you know my door is open, that we can always talk to each other. I know Luke has done that and sort of learned that from watching Steve, and in talking to Luke myself at Summer League, I know that was important to him, to have those building blocks with LeBron, also with Rajon Rondo, with some of the JaVale McGee, with some of the other guys who, who have come in. So I think that was an important step for that. It's not like, oh my God, they spoke. Of course they spoke. They're going to work together.
Right.
But I think maybe if it does work out better than the David Blatt scenario, one of the reasons might be that Luke is careful about building these kinds of relationships.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. By the way, Blatt didn't meet with LeBron for the longest, if you remember when he first got there. But the other thing also is, if they're going to have a basketball philosophy, a playing philosophy, nice that we can get a head start in July. What are we thinking? What kind of style are we trying to do? How do you want to be used, so that Luke and his staff can come back and hit the drawing board and figure out how can we adjust our playbook to accommodate LeBron.
Let's get on the same page now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what they are going to do with their playbook is a subject of much questioning. So I'm glad to hear that they might be getting started on a plan, because it's going to be interesting to see.